Hi, I am Jay Bonner, and this is video 15, Information and Evil Thought. There are three areas that we the people need to take control of if we are to save America. The first area is our monetary system, and I talk about the monetary system and ways in which that we the people can take back control of our money in video 6. Then there's the information gathering system, which is the National Security Agency, NSA, which is a national level intelligence agency of the United States Department of Defense under the authority of the Director of National Intelligence. And then there's the third area, which is the communication system, or the power of the press. In this video, I want to talk about an evil thought that I had over the weekend. I was watching a movie, and in the movie there was corrupt cops, there was drug dealers, and one of the drug dealers found out that one of his sergeants in his drug family was squealed to the DEA. And the way he found out that he squealed to the DEA, he says, well, what do you think? We don't monitor your phone messages? And, having been in the Department of Juvenile Justice and having been in access to some of the security stuff that we discussed, we at times would end up leaving our phone out of the room that we're having communications with, because we know that the enemy or the evil or drug dealers or whatever, they can actually end up monitoring our phones just as we have the capability of monitoring their phones. And this evil thought came about from this movie. And in this movie, there was not only this capability that the bad guys, the drug dealers, could monitor our communication, but that there was actually within the law enforcement agency that the police officers, judges, and attorneys that were state attorneys that were actually corrupt, and there was an internal investigation that was of corruption that was happening in this law enforcement office, and they were trying to end up finding out who the bad guys were within the cops, and so that was the whole story of the movie. Well, the thought came to mind is that we have the NSA, which is the National Security Agency, which has the capability of, we now know, has the capability of spying on everything, that they collect all of the mega data, which is everything. They collect the actual phone conversations, they collect your emails, all your text messages, all your videos. They have satellites in the skies, they're viewing you, they have access to all the television cameras, all the cameras that are on the roads and the highways. They now got flat panel screens that are on the side of the turnpike in 95 that actually end up monitoring the GPS location device that's on your car, identify you and the passengers. You can read the strip on your credit card, and all this is monitored. There's actually been a video that I've seen on YouTube where it's a drone that's outside of a shopping center, and they're advertising this new 3D design camera system that they have, that they use pixel cameras off of cell phones now to be able to offer a 360-degree view of an area in a community with using a drone. And all the people that were coming out, their cell phones were pinging, as to what their identification was, and it was all being shown on this video. So that the intelligence opportunity that we have that exists, that we know of, that exists today, of being able to monitor people and to have all that information, have all that data, it exists. And it exists today, and what we're looking at is that we have what's known as a FISA court, and if our law enforcement agency, is the FBI or the CIA or any kind of foreign agency wants to end up having access to that data, they have to go through this FISA court in order to end up getting this information. Well, the evil thought comes to the matter is that, who's monitoring the guys that are actually, collecting all this data, and where can this data be used? I mean, you're looking at in this. Wow, the breeze is really blowing. But anyway, you're looking at this data that is being collected, and how this data can end up knowing, who all the drug dealers are, monitor all their phones, all the evil that's happening. Apparently, we already know. Well, couldn't you end up, using it for the purpose of selling protection services? So in order for an evil empire to continue operating in the United States of America, they have to pay off those that actually control the NSA. So you're looking at, that was part of the problem that we're dealing with that was in this movie. That was what I'm going, wow, this is really evil, this potential. So the real question is how do we end up monitoring those that have this capability of all this information? And the only solution that I could see is that we've got to get back to God, that we have to get back to the moral authority that God has, that we have to elect men and women of faith who fear God, know the truth, and hate dishonest gain, and then put men and women of faith who have a moral background, who understand the laws of nature and nature's God, that can end up using or restoring the Constitution of the United States as the protector of God-given rights, and use it as a wall to end up separating us and keeping us away from this evil that wants to end up destroying us. And so, it was just a thought, just an idea, and I just wanted to lay that out there as another reason why in restoring and saving America, we need to get back to God. We need to look at the Declaration of Independence and the original vision that God had for America through the Declaration of Independence, and look at the original vision that God has for the Constitution of the United States, and then to end up electing men and women of faith who fear God, know the truth, and hate dishonest gain, to fulfill this God-given vision for America that God has given us. So with that, may God bless you, and may God bless America.